Hello, everybody. Today we're doing a deep dive into healing, particularly the healing that comes from this intense full moon. Now, I gotta be honest, I'm not an expert astrologer, but I am an astrologer in a sense that I feel the intensity of the feelings very deeply. So I am very in tune with energy and I can feel the energy that is currently around. So I want to kind of give you an understanding of what is happening right now and how we can use this time, and the energy that is provided to us for transformation. So it's a full moon, it's a super moon in Aries, the sign of Aries, right? And what I learned is that is conjuncting with Chiron, and Chiron is an asteroid that is in relation with our deep wounds. And these are really deep wounds, right? These are their inner child wounds. These are the kind of wounds that you may not know about, you may have forgotten about or brushed under the carpet, right? So all of a sudden, as you're going about your day, you drink your coffee, you suddenly feel this intense energy, right? And if you're sensitive like me, you've been feeling some intense energy. And the intensity could be a feeling of heaviness, anger, that you're snapping out of character, you're getting angry. It could be a feeling of sadness that arises. Whatever the feeling is connected to the wound that you're supposed to heal. If you're feeling sad, it can be related to childhood experiences that made you feel alone, made you feel unloved, unappreciated, unnoticed, right? If it's a feeling of depression, it's also depression and sadness is similar. So if you're feeling the sense of heaviness, depression, or sadness is connected to it may be connected, most likely it is connected to our childhood trauma of an event or a series of events happening where we felt unloved, where we felt unappreciated, or we felt alone, or we felt like nobody understood us. And if we are feeling a sense of anger, right, it could come from a series of events or an event in our childhood that was antagonistic towards us, that we were feeling attacked, right? Maybe we're feeling beaten down, humiliated, put down by authority figures. If you're feeling upset, it could also be again connected to the sadness. So, what feeling are you feeling most intensely? For me, it's been a feeling of sadness that suddenly came from nowhere. And for me, it was connected to my inner childhood experience primarily with my mom and dad. With my dad, it was to do with certain words he used to describe me that was humiliating and it was putting me down. It was sort of putting me down and attacking my confidence using certain derogatory words, certain negative words to put me down. And the feeling of sadness, well, really, that was the anger, right? My reaction to those feelings, to those experiences that I had with my dad was anger, like being angry. So some anger has been manifesting recently in my life, and that's totally out of character for me. I have not been angry recently, so it comes from nowhere. And the intensity of the feeling is so intense that I knew it was connected to deep wounds, deep inner wounds. When it comes to sadness, I think it was connected to my experiences with my mother and how I felt unappreciated, unloved, or felt alone, felt like I wasn't really a part of the family, a part of When somebody doesn't understand you, is always fighting you, how you feel in the inside is you feel not understood, you feel alone, right? And I think my relationship with my mom was really great for a great part of my life. But I think up until like the end of secondary school, it was a lot of fighting and a lot of anxiety provoking arguments about studying and forcing me to study. And I would, as a result, lash out. And then the experience of lashing out made us to be really antagonistic towards one another, which made me feel alone. And my relationship with my mother was very deep and intimate. So when you lose that intimacy with somebody you truly love, somebody you connected to, when you lose that intimacy, you really feel alone. There's nobody else in the world. And I didn't have that many intimate friends, I suppose, that truly understood me. It was really my mother. So that was a key relationship. And I think the relationship that I have with my mother was tarnished as a result of these arguments and these antagonistic kind of conversations. And then the end result was I felt alone, sad, and felt not understood by the world, right? Because the world for me, relationship for me, during those years was mostly relationship with my mother because she was really the one who was closest to me and understood me on a deep spiritual level, right? So a lot of those emotions have been coming up to the surface, a lot of the memories associated with those feelings, and it's coming up with an intensity that I've never felt before. But this time, I have not distracted myself from feeling them. I have fully immersed myself in the feeling, and I've been working with my great friends who are healers and really asking for their help because I'm not really at this time. I'm not really using things to distract myself from the healing. I'm really want to do the work. And guys, the full moon is a time for healing. So what the full moon is doing is the energy of the moon, and this is a super full moon. So there is water in our body, and metaphysically speaking or spiritually speaking, the element which corresponds to water is our feeling life. So each full moon brings our feeling up to the surface, brings it from the unconscious to the conscious for us to understand, for us to be present with, and for us to compassionately release. That's the whole point of the full moon. It's not giving you uncomfortable feeling because somebody's hating you or somebody's fighting you. No, these uncomfortable feelings are coming up to the surface for you to feel, understand, love, appreciate, for you to integrate. And by integration, I mean those feelings are requiring your attention. You can't just ignore them, right? And the right kind of attitude towards attending to these feelings is with a feeling of compassion. So the full moon brings these feelings up to the surface, and you're like, why am I feeling this intensity? I'm not supposed to be feeling this. But the reality is, the full moon is assisting you, is giving you an opportunity to know what is within you that is stopping your manifestation, that is stopping your gift that you have to give to the world. Basically, the full moon is showing you where your blockages are and how to fix them. We may not know in the Western world that we may be blocked in business world, in academic, whatever life goals you have, we may be blocked in those areas because of deep emotional wounds that are connected with themes like self-love and self-confidence. There's not a direct connection between them, so we don't see them as being connected, but it is. And the connection is, if you've had experiences as a child which made you feel unloved, unappreciated, unnoticed, then how you view yourself, the self-worth you have, the self-love you have, is going to be affected by those experiences, because those experiences in early life, in early childhood, really formed your image of yourself. So it is connected to that, and that's the connection. So the full moon is a great opportunity for us. We can see it as a negative thing. Oh, there's uncomfortable feeling coming up to the surface. I don't have time for this. Like, I'm doing my day-to-day work. What is this happening? Why is this happening? I don't want to feel this, right? But if we have that attitude, we're missing the point of the great opportunity we have to feel these difficult feelings, to feel the inner wounded child, right? And the full moon this time is conjuncting with Chiron, and it means Chiron is representing deep inner wounds, and it also represents the image of the wounded healer. So, as we heal these deep inner wounds, we also receive the gifts that we're trying to tap into, the gifts that really makes us happy, right? The gifts that we want to give to the world, that right now we may be struggling to give to the world. And the full moon is bringing up those blockages and asking us to reflect, feel, heal, and release those feelings. And by releasing, it doesn't mean you get rid of them. It means you feel them to the fullest extent, you embrace them, you send your compassion, your love to that inner child within you that was hurt, that was in pain. Because that inner child is kind of stuck in a prison, right? Is within you, but because you have not loved that aspect of you that felt sad, that felt unloved, that felt unappreciated, it is in a prison, in a box, and it wants to be free. It wants to be part of you. It wants to be one with you. And the way we create that oneness, the way we integrate our inner child with our conscious self is through love and compassion. So, this full moon is a massive opportunity for us to tap into the life we want, to manifest the dream we want by healing our past, right? We cannot go to the future if we have emotions, if we have experiences in the past that are blocking our potential, potential for new beliefs, potential for new experiences. But we do need to heal and release them. So it's just an opportunity for us. Really, this full moon is a massive opportunity. I just want you guys to understand. And how intense I'm feeling, how intense you're feeling, is the evidence. Because the universe communicates to us with feelings. And feelings are not good or bad, right? Feelings are messengers. They are trying to highlight something to you. And if you get lost in the challenging aspect of the feelings, you're missing the point, right? The point is that feeling is a messenger. How do you treat a messenger that comes to your house? Rumi had this great line of poetry that he says, treat each guest honorably as he comes through the door. Treat them with a sense of honor, right? And he was referring to feelings. If one day a feeling of joy comes to your door, treat it honorably. But also when a feeling of sadness comes to your door, treat it also honorably, because as Rumi says, these are messengers from beyond. And if you think about it, it is true. Really, the way universe communicates to us directly is through our feelings, because it really gets to us, right? Like, it's like if a universe communicated to us via thoughts, we sort of have a thought and we forget about it. But if it's a feeling, you cannot not notice it. It is consuming you, right? It is all around you. So how you respond to these feelings is what is going to be important. And this full moon is an opportunity for you to respond to your inner childhood wounds with a sense of understanding, love, and compassion, with a sense of you healing those inner childhood wounds by feeling them and by giving these feelings space, not by suppressing them, right? And space is something that is open, right? So you want to be the open space, compassionate open space for these feelings to arise within you. If you tighten up yourself, if you distract yourself, you're not being the open space. You want to be the open, loving space. And it is very difficult. And that's why I'm here to talk with you guys, to give you some tips how to be the open space, to allow these feelings to arise. Because The reward is, if you do that, there is an intensity of the transformation process that can occur within days during this full moon, right? We are 2 days before the full moon, so it's on the 17th. So if you're doing the work today, tomorrow on the 17th, and a few days after, within that period, there is a great opportunity to accelerate the healing process, to accelerate releasing these blockages that are blocking you from manifesting the life you want, such that if you tap into the energy of the time right now, if you work with these emotions right now, your blessings will be tenfold, 20-fold, 30-fold, right? It's it's that's why I think the ancient people really tapped into the energy of the seasons. They had a deep understanding of seasons. When is the time for healing? When is the time to start working? Doesn't mean you shouldn't be working all the time. It just means like the optimal time. There's a time where the energy is just perfect to start a business. There's a time where the energy is perfect, is intense for emotional healing, right? And you want to know when those times are. And this full moon is a time that you gotta be dedicating to your healing, because that's the universe giving you the energy of the healing. It's like the universe is coming up from above to below and it's saying, look, this is the energy I'm providing for you to heal. Now, if you say to that energy, like, okay, I want to meet you halfway. I'm gonna put in some effort, right? And by effort, I don't mean force. I just mean you say yes, even though it feels intense. The full moon, the emotional healing, you say, yes, universe, yes, I want to be healed. Yes, thank you for this healing. Thank you for this opportunity to feel these difficult emotions. Thank you for the gift of difficult emotions that you're giving me. Thank you for bringing me the attention to these deep inner wounds that I need to be feeling. Thank you. That attitude is what's going to be massive transformational opportunity for you. And this full moon is a super full moon, and it's connected to our deep inner wounds. So this is a very special time. And as it's a full moon in Aries, Aries is about intensity, about action. So it depends how you use the intensity and the action, right, of the Aries energy. Are you going to use it to intensely react to people and get angry at them and snap at them and argue with them? Are you going to put that intensity and the action in your healing work? Which one are you going to do? Or are you going to use that intensity to distract yourself? And you got a few options here, and the universe never forces you to pick one of those options. It is really up to you what you do here. But if you do work with these healing energies, your rewards are beyond belief. And again, the full moon is the end of a chapter. So if you work with the energy of the time right now, if you've already been doing a lot of healing work, a lot of work on yourself up to now, and now you continue doing that healing work, you embrace the energy, the intensity of the full moon, despite the difficult emotions that comes with it, then you have culminated the cycle. So your old self that was under the operation system of certain limiting beliefs or certain emotional blockages has come to an end now. So this is like a opportunity for us to have a beautiful ritual, a beautiful ceremony to end this cycle, right? The cycle of being blocked in certain areas of our life, especially in the ones we're in relation to our deep inner wounds, right? So I was feeling very down yesterday, even today I was feeling really down. But the more I'm learning, the more I'm reflecting, and the more I'm engaging with the world, I'm realizing I've got this intensity of energy which I can channel into productive things. I can channel to intellectual pursuits, spiritual pursuits. And in fact, I came here online with you guys precisely because I wanted to channel this energy to something productive and positive. And it's been amazing I'm going to guide us through a meditation right now. And I just ask you, be open in this meditation. It's not going to be too long, it's just going to be 10, 15 minutes maximum. And just be lovingly and compassionately present without any resistance to any feelings. If during this meditation uncomfortable feelings arise to the surface, please allow them to be. Understand that these are just sensations, and unless you label these sensations, they do not have anything to do with good or bad. They may feel uncomfortable, but if you're just being present with them and you breathe through these feelings are asking you to love them and to feel them. So give them space. All right, let's do the meditation. Just anchor yourself in your breath. Just take 3 deep inhales and exhales. Just be aware of any area in the body that is vibrating or tight or uncomfortable. Identify that area. Is it your throat? Is it your chest? Is it your stomach? Really scan your body and feel where the discomfort is. If it's your heart, it is connected to some deep inner wound, childhood wound, that is connected with your love of yourself. Somehow that this event or series of events affected how you view yourself, how you love yourself. The event was obviously external to you, but it shaped your feelings towards yourself, your self love. If the discomfort is in the stomach, it could be a feeling of depression or sadness or anxiety, kind of overactivation. And these emotions of sadness, you may also be feeling the sadness in the heart. So these are just general categories. But if you're feeling the sadness, if it's in the stomach, if it's the anxiety in the stomach, it could be related to events in your life where somebody put you down, damaged your confidence or your view of yourself, and you felt angry, you felt frustrated. Or if it's sadness, you may have been feeling alone, feeling not understood or not appreciated. Whatever the cause are, just want you to tap into that area in the body. Whether it's the throat, if it's the throat, maybe somebody or a series of events put down your confidence in yourself, your sense of self, your sense of confidence, your inner voice, that you deserve to speak, you deserve to express yourself, that your voice is important, that your perspective is important. Maybe somebody didn't take your perspective to be important. They were too domineering, and they didn't give you space to express yourself. Wherever in the body is the feeling, just put your hand, your right hand, on that area. Breathe into that area and send your compassionate feeling. By that I mean feel compassion like a laser going to that area. Breathe into it. And visualize your energy. Visualize and feel your energy of compassion and love going to this area of the body which you breathe into. And we want to speak to this area of our body, and knowing this is not just an area in the body, this area contains the unconscious energies, the residual energies that are requiring our attention. So we want to speak to them. So place your hand on that area where you feel these uncomfortable feelings. And as you're breathing into it, I want you now to tap with your fists like this. Whether it's the heart, you want to be just slowly tapping. Whether it's the stomach, you want to be slowly tapping. Just gently and slowly in a rhythmic way like this. And as you're tapping, just speak to those feelings. And I speak to your inner child experiencing those feelings. Remember the event where you felt the trauma. Somebody put you down, or somebody didn't consider you, or whatever those inner trauma, those pains, whatever the memory comes up. Bring that to mind and speak to your inner child. Speak to your inner child. Say, see yourself expressing that emotion as a child. Were you sad? Were you angry? Were you in anxiety? Were you stressed? Just speak to that inner child as you're tapping. I love you. None of this is your fault. I love you so much. I love you. Thank you. Thank you for going through this process. I understand you. I love you. It wasn't your fault. It was not your fault. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Just keep speaking to that inner child. Visualize hugging that inner child. Whatever that inner child is feeling. Was it feeling sad? Was it feeling angry, upset? Hug him or hug her and tell him how much you love him. Tell him that nothing is his fault. Tell him, I understand you. I feel you. You now have space to be felt. You now have all the space to express yourself. I'm giving you space. I'm giving you space to feel. It's okay, you can express yourself. If you're sad, I understand you. It is okay. It is okay to be sad. There's nothing wrong with your feeling. You're not doing anything wrong by feeling sad. All right, stop tapping now and tune in with your attention to the area in the body where you were tapping. And just breathe into that area, and with each breath, feel more space. Feel more expansion. Allow the feeling to arise and allow the feeling to express itself. Be the sacred chamber for these feelings to arise in you. Just observe them with compassion, the same way you would observe your little children struggling. And say to yourself, I am the open space of loving awareness, and I welcome and I allow all feelings, whether difficult or challenging, without a resistance. I embrace these feelings. I give them sacred space in my sacred chamber for them to arise in me and for them to be felt by me. I allow them to be felt by me. It is okay. My feelings are sacred gifts and messengers from above, guiding me to heal. So thank you. Thank you, sadness. Thank you, pain. Thank you, loneliness, depression. Thank you, anger, for bringing me to these memories, for bringing me to an understanding of loving myself, to an understanding of making myself whole again. And just staying in silence. And as you're just present in silence, just feel whatever is your body feeling. Being aware that we're not trying to change anything. We're just compassionately, lovingly observing. If these difficult feelings are challenging, just breathe compassion into them, visualizing the energy of compassion as a rose color light going from your breath into these feelings in the body. With each breath, visualize and feel this rose color light of compassion going to this area in the body where you feel some activity, whether it's your heart, your stomach, wherever it may be. Towards the end of this meditation, I'm gonna be sending you guys some healing energy. So I need some form of connection building, and just type down in the comment section your name. Type down in the comment section your name as you're in the meditation. I just want to be sending you this healing energy. And I'll just ask you to feel, to establish yourself in stillness. And whenever you're ready, type down your name in the chat for me to send you this healing energy. If you just joined, type down your name in the chat if you want to receive healing energy. I will be sending it to you. I just need a name so I can anchor my attention. I'll be here whenever anyone wants to write down their names. I'll give you guys the healing energy. I'll be transmitting it to you. But I need a name. For those of you who recently joined, this is just towards the end of the meditation where I'm going to send healing energy to a few individuals. And I just need some names in the chat box if you want to receive this energy. I'll be sending it to you now. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Have a great day.